Saturday, the 8th of June. We're taking Harvey up to Reno to the Air Race Appreciation Luncheon there this afternoon and get the scoop on the future of air racing in Roswell, New Mexico. Stand by for an update soon on that. But yesterday, we had a very high-profile general aviation accident in the Pacific Northwest when fighter pilot and astronaut Bill Anders, age 90, augured in his T-34 Beechcraft Mentor aircraft off of the shoreline from the San Juan Islands in about 80 feet of water. He was fatally injured and the only pilot on board the aircraft. Preliminary ADS-B data from FlightAware indicates that he had been flying the aircraft recently this month, and he'd been flying locally there at the Pattern at Skagit, his local airport, where apparently the T-34 is part of his flight museum. By the way, the T-34 Mentor is a two-seat tandem Beechcraft trainer, military trainer aircraft with a straight tail, powered by the 0470 Continental engine, and is a aerobatic-capable aircraft. Preliminary ADS-B data over the past couple days looks like he had been going out and practicing some air work at about 3,000 feet near the Skagit Airport and then coming back to the Skagit Airport for landings. On the day of the accident, he took off out of Skagit, climbed right away to 2,500 feet, and then very quickly descended to about 1,000 feet and began maneuvering over the San Juan Islands area. And the accident occurred with the ADS-B data indicating just roughly right around between 700 to 1,000 feet. There is video evidence of the crash itself. King 5 TV now has that video. I can't play it here because that's what gets me demonetized off of YouTube. See the link below. Check it out for yourself. But unfortunately, the video data was either edited by the news station such that it only includes the very last few seconds of the flight. What we need to see, what is critical to the investigation, is the prior 60 seconds or more of video data to give us an indication of what was the pilot doing prior to the accident. Was he doing low-level maneuvers? What sort of maneuvers was he attempting? All we have on the video from the King 5 TV is the aircraft in a bit of a nose-low, rolling nose-low attitude, followed by a split S maneuver, which is basically a maneuver right down like that. From the video, you can tell that the engine is running perfect, the weather is not a factor, and that the pilot does have control of the aircraft as he's continuing to pull the aircraft through. At the time that he hits the water on the video, he's not quite level, but he's not straight in either. He's got a pretty good angle into the water, but the aircraft skips off the water, immediately breaks apart in the crash. So if anybody was witness to this accident there in the San Juan Islands area, be sure and get a hold of the NTSB at eyewitness@ntsb.gov and explain to the investigators what you saw the pilot doing prior to this accident. And hopefully the accident video has some additional video data prior to that which is shown on the news. Until we get that data, we really won't know what happened. But I can tell you that 1,000 feet is much too low to be performing any kind of aerobatic maneuvers. One of the most common mistakes that can be made is somebody attempting a aileron roll at low altitudes, and that aileron roll not getting the nose up high enough, dishing out and turning into a split S. 3,000 feet is the minimum recommended altitude for any form of aerobatics, and I would recommend at least 2 mistakes high, 6,000 feet before performing any aerobatic maneuvers. This is a very common accident sequence. It'll be interesting to see if the pilot was maneuvering in a location that was near somebody else's house or not. This is a common thing we see in these low-level aerobatic maneuvering accidents, which are all too common in general aviation. Thank you so much for your support of this channel, especially the folks over on Patreon that make this content possible. See you here.